So we always start Casino in our marquee mid and miserable matchups with the marquee matchups.
Did you do any? You didn't. You didn't do them.
I didn't. I didn't do them. You also were like, "Oh, I'll send you pictures."
Oh shit, I was. Next week. Put it off.
Let's just keep putting it off. First up, Casino Lions at Vikings.
Well, let's pick a category. I'll do them on the fly. I'll just call them out.
Famous historical figures. Go.
Lions and Vikings.
But Lions Vikings Casino, the matchup of the undefeated Vikings and the Lions, who in most people's power rankings is probably number one in terms of minimum NFC teams. So both NFC North teams going at it. Who you got in this one, Casino?
I'm excited for this one, man. But this is I think the Lions prove it stage for me. To tell me if they're going to be as legit as they're supposed to be. I mean, you're on the road. On the road here, you need to show up. The Vikings, they can lose a game. You know, they're undefeated right now. They can lose a game and be just fine. Obviously, I know in that division, you don't want to lose against a divisional opponent, but to me, I like what the locker room felt like after that. You sent me that video of the Lions, of Dan Campbell, of Jared Goff. Jared Goff's cooking right now. Um, I, I am worried about Aiden Hutchinson being out and the Vikings just putting up too many points on the Lions, but I think this will be a high scoring affair. But I am going to go Lions because they're my Super Bowl pick, and I think this is the prove it to me game if you want to be a Super Bowl contender.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like we had a couple weeks ago where it was Vikings Texans, if we remember correctly, and it was like this is the official prove it week for the Minnesota Vikings to be like, oh, are they fine? Like, are they actually a legit good team? And then if we remember correctly, they like blew them out, right? And that game wasn't close, wasn't even close from the beginning. Absolutely annihilated them. And with the Lions, we kind of had that game last week, even though you and I both don't think the Cowboys are contenders. It's still pretty impressive when you blow out any team in this league by almost 50 points.
Right.
Or what team you're playing. Nobody's blown out the Panthers by almost 50, except since, week one, and they're arguably the worst team in the league. So Vikings, again, my concern would be Lions have so much emotion after that game. It was a revenge game for the bullshit that happened last year with the in the Cowboys game. But the Vikings also coming off a bye week. They've had extra time to prepare. It's a division rival. They're undefeated. When you look at the stats, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Lions are top 10 in every category except passing. They're 13th.
Yeah, I mean this is only as of right now. What it looks like is it's just a 1.5 for the Vikings going into this game. Which there's your home field advantage. Just damn near pick them.
Yeah,
I think the world and the nation they want to see what this is. You want to know what the over/under is on this? Take a guess.
The over/under.
I was on the right track if it can be a high-scoring game.
52.
50.5. 50 and a half.
Shit. All right.
And I think it gets it. I would bet the over.
Yeah, I would probably bet the over as well. I mean, both teams have the Lions have the 6th ranked defense. The Vikings have the 7th ranked defense. Now, Lions have not had a bye. Vikings have had a bye. So their stats could potentially be better than what they're actually showing on paper. But this is my question when it comes to the Vikings Casino is, did they have their bye week too early? Is it they had all this momentum and then to suddenly stop and try to just turn it back
that's
on?
a good point. That could be the thing.
Yeah, that would be my concern. And that's also why, even though
You're
it's
going Vikings.
Well, that's why it is our team, the Vikings, for this podcast. But I'm picking the Lions. I just think
that's who I'm picking. You know that.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
I'm also picking the Lions. Even though I think the Vikings are really good. I think this will get back and forth. You said 54. I think I'm going to go 30-24. 30-24 Lions.
No. I'm picking I'm gonna be 31-28.
31-28 Lions.
Yeah,
All right,
I
so
think it
we're
comes down to the field goal.
yeah, I think, it comes down to a potential game-winning touchdown. Who knows what happens, but I trust both. I can't believe I say this, but I trust Sam Darnold. I really do. He has 11
On that
touchdowns
team
this
all day.
season, 4 interceptions. Aaron Jones has looked good, but the Lions just look like they finally are the juggernaut everybody thought they would be at the start of the season. Uh, Next up, Casino, on our marquee matchups, another good one with an NFC North team, the Houston Texans at the Green Bay Packers. Who you got in this one?
Oh man, I even after last game, I just beating the Patriots. You didn't beat the Patriots how I thought you were going to beat the Patriots. You still let them score.
A
Was that
rookie
just
score.
was that just Drake May, being good and
Next
showing
Tom Brady? Question
what he
mark.
could do without that, without an offensive line? Um, I'm gonna go Packers on this one, and as I see here, the Packers are favored at -3. I thought the Texans would be favored. I guess it's in Lambeau. You're right, but I'm going to go Packers on this one. The Texans still after this many games, I'm still just like, I don't. The Texans need to show me more. Um, they beat a stinker in a team last year or last week with the Patriots, but defensively concerned me for the Texans.
Yeah.
So I think the Packers are just going to put too much up onto them. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna actually go 28, 17 Packers.
Ooh, 28-17.
I think the Texans are gonna have trouble keeping the Packers offense off the field. And I think the Packers are gonna score early and then they're gonna start running the ball and control the clock. And that's why it's gonna be somewhat of a lower scoring.
Yeah. Last time we saw Jordan Love on the field, he threw 4 touchdowns, 1
Yeah.
interception. After some rocky starts there, he missed a couple games because of injury. We were wondering, oh, is the injury lingering? Is it not? And then he comes out and throws 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Now, if you look at when it comes to Love versus Stroud, Stroud is technically having a better season because his completion percentage is almost at 70%. He has basically 1,600 yards. Love, even after missing, I believe he missed 2 games, is at 1,100 yards. But his completion percentage is the thing that scares me this season when it comes to Love. He is way below league average. He is at 58% right now, basically 59. So I think the average is like 65. So he's a full 6 points lower when it comes to completion percentage. But both these teams, shockingly, even on paper, the only glaring difference is the Texans have the 8th best defense in the league, while the Packers have the 20th best defense in the league. So Packers defense significantly worse. Will the home field advantage cancel out how big of a disadvantage they are on defense? I don't think it will. So that's why I am picking the Houston Texans, Casino, to go into Lambeau, get the upset. I don't think this is blowout of the week. It might be potentially best game of the week, but I will go. I also don't think it'll be as high scoring. I'll go 25 to 21. 25 to 21. Texans go into Lambeau. I'm also glad we're getting our first opposite pick this early in our game picks, Casino. Maybe we'll have different games this week.
Yeah.
Next up, the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs coming off a bye, go to the 49ers, who haven't played since last Thursday. So they got like a half bye,
Hmm.
which is what Casino was in high school. But Kansas City Chiefs 5-0 at the 3-3 San Francisco 49ers. Patrick Mahomes, I looked it up, Casino,
Oh,
4-0
I've okay, 4-0 against the Niners.
in his entire career, has never
That's fine.
lost
It's
to him.
gonna be 4-1.
Oh, is this
Calling
your
it now.
upset pick of the week?
Dude, it is because it's something just has to it finally just has to break. I mean, is this even an upset? I'm fucking looking this up.
Or
No,
no,
it's
no,
not. The Niners are
Niners
favored.
are
The Niners
favored
are favored, and I'm
is
going with that. I'm
insane.
going with that. So I wanted to pull this up because I saw a brief thing stat wise for Joe Burrow versus Patrick Mahomes somewhere online, right? And it was just doing touchdowns, interceptions. I'm like, I want to check out more. What's up,
Oh
honey?
my god, are you telling us for the first time ever you actually
Mhm.
came with research on the podcast?
I did.
Oh
I
my
have it up.
god.
I got it right here. So this season right now, Joe Burrow is destroying Patrick Mahomes in every stat category, and yet Chiefs are. This is I just it's blowing my mind. The Chiefs are undefeated. All right, and Joe Burrow, they could barely win games. So completions, I'll just go with the percentage: 71 to 69. Nice, and the more yardage, 12 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Patrick Mahomes 6-6. He looks awful. The one sack that or the uh gosh, I have stats and I can't fucking speak here. Um,
You're so excited to finally have
I
stats.
am. Well, it just infuriates me about just how they're undefeated. So Joe Burrow has been sacked 15 times and Patrick Mahomes only 9. But you know what? That just makes all of his completions and everything even more valid and legit and more impressive. And then the same thing with rushing attempts. Joe Burrow has only ran 18 times, but he has more yards than Patrick Mahomes 23 times, who has less yards. I mean, it's only by 10, but I don't give a shit. Um, I don't. And I in every category, Joe Burrow is better than Patrick Mahomes this year, yet Patrick Mahomes is undefeated. Something's got to give. I bring up those stats because something has got to give. I am so over Patrick Mahomes. I am so over them fucking winning. And it's winning how they're winning. It's how they're winning. That's what bothers me. It oh God. I
So
mean,
you're
I'm done.
picking the
I'm done.
49ers.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm picking the 49ers. My daughter says I'm not. She's not done. I'm done.
Do you need a snack?
I
Your
do
daughter's asking.
28-24 Niners. I'll be right back.
Uh, yeah. Based on everything Casino just said, obviously I agree with it. I would gladly take the mantle of the number one Chiefs haters in the sports realm, right? Because now we do this dumb thing. We're not the sports media. I'm doing this from my kid's basement, my kid's room. Casino's doing it from his kitchen counter, right? And we only lose money on this podcast. We don't make it. So I feel like you can't be called something unless you make money from it. So I won't include us in the sports media, but us in the community of people who talk about sports, there's this weird thing now where it's like you don't have to like the Chiefs, but you have to respect them. Like, why? Why is there this thing where it's like you don't like them, but you have to respect them? And it's just like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have to like or respect anything you don't want to do. I don't like the Chiefs, and I'm not reluctant to respect them because again, they annoy the ever loving shit out of me, much like Casino. Um, they beat my team in a Super Bowl. They are constantly in the Super Bowl. Travis Kelsey is annoying. Patrick Mahomes, again, they're just like greatest quarterback of all time, no debate. And then it's like, do we realize we just watched the greatest quarterback of all time beat this guy in a Super Bowl? And now it's like we just have to be like, no debate. Oh, he's having a bad season. Doesn't matter. No debate. Still best quarterback in the league. It's like, why are we just this community where it's like
Sorry, I'm
nothing can
back.
be said badly about the Chiefs or Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes this season, no question about it, the worst season of his career. He is almost he's at 69% completion percentage. Nice, as Casino just said. He has 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. When you watch the games, it's like he's when's the last time you saw a Patrick Mahomes highlight from a game this season where they play it nonstop over and over and they're like, oh my God, can you believe Mahomes did this?
Yeah,
There
I did. It was when he I saw somebody make one. It was when he took a kneel down.
yeah. So
Oh my gosh, he took a kneel down. Oh my god, that was the most beautiful knee I've ever seen. Holy shit, that's the greatest thing. He's the best quarterback. Goat. Goat.
the three
Oh,
teams I currently am a hater the most of this season is Chiefs number one, and then it's open for after that. It's open. Obviously, I'm an Eagles fan, so I don't like the Cowboys and I don't like the 49ers, but the 49ers and Cowboys this season have done nothing to annoy me, right? My team would probably be the second team I hate the most
And
this
you're
season.
just impressed by Washington.
Yeah. Well, I said I've never been a Commanders or Redskins like hater because they've never done anything in my entire life of watching
Yeah.
being an Eagles fan. But the number one
That's
hate,
how I've always kind of felt about the Bills, to be honestly. I've always hated the Jets and I've always hated Miami. And then for the Bills, I was just like, "Eh." So when they started getting good, I was just like,
yeah, good for them. You kind of feel like good for them. I've watched this division for 25 plus
I know I'm gonna
years.
get so much hate from my Patriots group chat about that. But I really just I don't care if the Bills win or lose. Like, unless they're playing the Patriots, I want them to lose. But
Yeah.
I want the Jets and the Miami Dolphins to lose every game.
Yeah, I had to sit through 2 years where all we ever did in my Eagles watching lifetime is dominate the Giants, and somehow they still won 2 Super Bowls. In that time where we just twice a year, every year, makes no sense, and then obviously the Cowboys for the
My
obvious reason.
my wife took all the
But
energy drinks, so all I have now is a beer. So I'm just gonna drink a beer.
nothing better. That is your name. But yeah, so we have the 49ers right now, second in offense, second in the league in passing, third in the league in rushing, 15th in the league in defense, 23rd in the league of offense, fourth in the league of defense for the Chiefs, 18th in the league in passing, 24th in the league of rushing. So again, the Mahomes has never beat the Chiefs, or Mahomes has never beat the 49ers, I should say. And there's a first time for everything. This is a revenge game for the 49ers. I'm picking the 49ers. I don't want to root against, or I don't want to root for the 49ers except when they're playing the Chiefs. So this will be the one week I am a huge 49ers fan, and I hope they
And if
annihilate.
Brock Purdy wins and beats Patrick Mahomes, everybody should just get down and blow him, pretty much.
We're gonna have a real fun discussion if Purdy outplays Mahomes in this game, which I think he has all the right to do. So you know
Yeah,
what,
I mean, we'll
Casino?
all discuss as we're on our knees.
I'm right there with you. 28-24, 49ers. Let's go Niners. That'll be the only time.
And BJ has left the chat. I have no idea what happened to him. Again, Cox Cable has been the absolute worst. Oh, wait, there he is. Okay.
I got so excited I clicked out. But let's move on, Casino, to our marquee matchup of the week, and that is the Baltimore Ravens at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This does feel like we talked about the prove it games that both the Lions and Vikings had. We even talked about the Commanders last week against this very same Baltimore team, that being a prove it game. This feels like the prove it game for me when it comes to the Buccaneers. Four
Buccaneers
and two versus 4-2. They're at home. They're playing the Ravens, coming off a pretty easy win that
on
didn't look easy at all.
on Monday night.
And this is the Monday night game, which again, they're doing the two Monday night games where one of them is a must watch and then one of them's a weird matchup. So,
I will not watch the other game.
no,
Other game
this
being
is
Chargers Cardinals. We'll get to that one.
yeah, this is going to be on the entire time. Who you got in this matchup, Casino?
I'm going with King Henry. They're rolling. They're absolutely rolling. And again, I don't have an issue with the Bucks. Like, if they lose, they lose. I'm sad. I like Patrick Mahomes. I like Baker Mayfield. They're 4-2. They'll go 4-3. It's not the end of their season. Um, they're still right there to take the crown for that division with the Falcons. So I'm going the Ravens. I think King Henry and Lamar Jackson and that team, Zay Flowers, they have all figured it out on offense. I mean, their defense is a little and same with the Bucks. So I think this is going to be another high scoring affair, roughly. But I do have Baltimore pretty much putting a beat down on top of the Buccaneers here, even though it's in Tampa. But this, and I know I'm being a homer here with going with all the obvious picks, but could the Bucks beat the Ravens? Yes, but Ravens are on a 4-game win streak. They are hot. Zay Flowers, like I said, all three that I just said, Zay Flowers, King Henry, and Lamar Jackson are all feeling it right now. Absolutely feeling it. And the Bucks have been kind of just up and down a little bit. So I'm going to go Ravens here. Um, I think it'll be close. Um, let's call it let's call it 28-27.
Oh, 1 point game. What is the spread on this game, Casino?
It's minus 3.5 for the Ravens, and the over under is 49.5.
Hmm. You know what? This is gonna be my upset pick of the week. I'm
Totally
picking the
fine with
Buccaneers.
it. Totally fine with it.
I am picking the Buccaneers. I feel like always on those standalone games, weird shit happens. This is going to be a game where every host on the pregame show is going to be like, I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens. And then I can already see it. Tampa Bay social media pages are going to show the screenshot of everybody picking the Ravens and then do the little shrugging guy like every team does when everybody picks against them in one game. I think this will be a low scoring game. I think it'll be a weird game. I'm going 17-14 Bucks. This is my upset pick of the week. I believe in the Bucks. They're coming off a huge game last week. Ravens again, they've been spotty this season. This seems like a trap game. Yeah, I'm going Tampa Bay
That's totally
Bucks.
fair. That's a great analysis on that. I'm right there with you. I feel it.